Hey guys, what's up? Matt here from Loon Outdoors. Today we're going to be tying a super awesome pattern by my buddy Rick Anderson. It's called Anderson's Euphoria. And we're going to be using a Daiichi steelhead hook. It's like a 2059, some 50D Vivas thread. And I like these in a 5 and a 7. It's a kind of an ultra classic low water swing fly. So I'm going to start with a hollow tinsel from Vivas. And this is going to be our tag end of the fly. If you had small, medium, or large, it doesn't really matter. You're just using this for the actual tag. So we'll go behind our point, and we're going to wrap in creating this little tag area and work back to where we're going to insert our tail. So you can see here I'm using 2 strands because this is a small tinsel, so it's going to help it build and overlap just a little bit quicker and better than a single strand would. Once we get to where our tail is going to go in, we'll go ahead and lash that off, and I do 1 wrap forward and back basically, so I kind of just bend the material over. Next up, I'm going to apply some uni wire. This is kind of like a purpley blue color. Seems to work really, really well for this fly. Rick doesn't actually tie this fly in this colorway. This is something that I've, like a style bite from him that I've stolen, and we'll go from there. So next up, UV cinnamon ice dub. Like I said, this is a low water fall swing fly, perfect for right now. Get out there and tie some. So this is going to look like an October caddis. So if you're fishing anywhere, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Northern California, probably even BC, there's probably some October caddis going off right now. So we'll go ahead and just dubbing noodle a quick body here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a little bit buggy at times. It's not going to hurt anything. Next up, I use a little ice dub. This is a hare's ear. It's kind of a bloody black, so it's got a little bit of red hint to it, and I find that the fish just kind of enjoy it. This is also going to provide some of that two-tone body effect that you would see on a lot of caddis patterns out there. And so next up, I'm just going to use the tip of my scissors. You could use any number of things, but I'm just going to pick this out a bit and make it nice and buggy. And I'll go ahead and counter wrap in with this like kind of purple uni wire. I noticed that my caddis here locally in Northern California have a mild purple hue to the back of them, hence why I like to add some purple in with this fly. Once we get through there, we'll go ahead and wrap it off. Little helicopter activity, and that brassy sized uni wire will just pop right away. Again, come back in with my scissor tips, and I'm going to pick this out a bit. I want it to look like a pupa on a steelhead hook. And I'm sure steelhead like it too. Actually, I know they do. You could use your bodkin here or any other number of dubbing bugginess creators that you so desire, but that's just the one I have in my hand. So I create a nice smooth thread base in which to start wrapping my hackles on. And first up, I'm going to use some pheasant rump from Hairline. This is dyed in brown. And I dig through these, especially when I'm at a fly shop. I don't buy pheasant rump unless I put my hands on it most of the time. So if you have that luxury to dig through 5 or 6 bags at a good local fly shop, do that. It'll make your life a lot better. So I want the really like fine, long, wispy tail. sections, or rump sections, I should say, not a tail. So we'll go ahead and tie that in tip first. The reason I do that is I feel that the shorter fibers towards the tip of the feather will help to stabilize the longer sections of the feather. So it's basically building just a little bit of strength into this pattern. So we'll go ahead and tie that down. I don't release any of those stems or the hackle before I feel like I have this thoroughly locked in. Next up is some Mallard, creating a multi-tone effect here. And I'll just dig through this giant bag so I find one that I feel is the right accommodation for this fly. I like to peel away about half, and then I preen all of my feathers backwards. And again, tie it in tip first. And the reason I'm only taking a half feather here is because I want this to be sparser, nice and light. I don't want it to be a giant, overwhelming hackle portion. Sometimes you lose. So I just lost the end there because I am using a really fine thread and kind of blew it. But that's okay. We can go right back in there, and sometimes flies get the best of us a little bit. And obviously, this is a very truthful time video to show that even I, every once in a while, am not perfect. So we'll go ahead and lash all that down nice and tight. You can see you get this really, really cool buggy look. And then I'm going to take a little bit of rusty brown Guinea and some barred voodoo fibers. Rick uses some flashaboo. I feel like there's quite a bit of flash in that material already with the ice stub body and so forth. So I'm kind of making a play here for this October caddis using this voodoo fiber as an antenna, actually. So you can see I'll go ahead and just lash that in and leave it kind of long. So it's going to be an over-exaggerated antenna and just look kind of fun. Again, I'm just selecting some Guinea appropriate to the size of the fly that I'm tying. As per the last two feathers, I'll tie it in tip first, and we'll work it from there. And this one, I'm just going to take probably a singular wrap. Get everything else out of the way there. And, we're going to go ahead and finalize this pattern now. A little bulky on the head, but, end of the day, it's not really going to matter. They're going to have like 0.2 seconds to chat this up and or check this out and go from there. Of course, since I'm tying with white thread, I'm going to use a little Copic and brown before I hit this with UV resin. So once you get this down, you should be able to crank these out at like, you know, a whopping 6 an hour. So this is the last section here. You can see it's got this great utilization and body flow to it. So I'm gonna use some flow for my head cement. Creates a nice durable head, you know, and just give it some time to soak in there, and you'll have a solid bond all the way through. I'm gonna be using the infinity light, and that's gonna be all she wrote for this one. I appreciate you guys watching, and have a great day.